Give it up, Kevin Johnson.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Scott Moog tried to do my introduction like I did President Obama. It wasn't quite as cool, but we'll give him a little round of applause, just a little round of applause. Well, thank you very much. This is awesome. This is one of my favorite nights of the year because it's a time where our city comes together and the energy in the room is just unbelievable. I think most of you know last week I was in Washington, D.C., and had an opportunity to give my first State of the City's address in my capacity of being president of the U.S. Conference of Mayors. And it was on the next day, the day after, when President Obama gave his State of the Union address. In his address, he said, the State of the Union is strong. And then I said, the day after, the State of the Union is strong because the state of our cities is strong. And it's nowhere more evident than here in our city. Sacramento, we are on a roll. The state of our city is strong, and that's the theme of my address, Sacramento Strong. So give yourselves a round of applause for all the great work you do. There's simply no other way to describe the utter explosion that is happening in our community. But before I get started, I want to just recognize and thank a few folks. I know we have a number of elected officials here from around our region. I want to thank them for their leadership. I want to thank my colleagues on the council. I am so proud of this council. They do great work in their respective districts. Together we fought to get the moratorium lifted, get our levees stronger. So if you wouldn't mind, all elected officials, please stand, and let's give them a round of applause. Also, I want to just take a moment to thank all of our city workers. You know, the glue behind all the cities are the city employees, our city manager. I want to congratulate him. He just got an award from the League of Cities, the California League of Cities, as an outstanding city manager. So if city staff, please stand, and let's give them a round of applause. Why did some city employees have to sit way back there and others get the better seats? We'll talk tomorrow. Next year, we'll make sure you get in the front row. There's one other person I want to acknowledge. I'm hoping he's here really quickly. He's the president of Sac State. And this gentleman, Alex Gonzalez, has been a president in our community for 12 years, and he's retiring. So if he wouldn't mind standing, let's give him a round of applause. I want to thank all of our corporate sponsors. I want to thank our chair, David Galasso from Wells Fargo, and Gary Mizell for Western Health, and Adrian and my whole team. Let's give all of our sponsors and leaders one more round of applause. So one of the reasons our city is so strong, and it's why we're able to accomplish so much, it's the amazing people and residents and leaders that we have in Sacramento. And as you know, 2 years ago, we started presenting the Legacy Award in honor of the late, great Mort Friedman, to recognize a member of our community who embodies the spirit, the sensibilities, and the soul of Sacramento. We honor his legacy with this award, and I'd love for Mrs. Marcy Friedman, if she wouldn't mind coming up for a moment to help present the award. Round of applause for Marcy Friedman. And Gary and David, come on up. So it gives me great pleasure to announce the winner of the Mort Friedman Legacy Award is the one and only Dr. William Lee, publisher of the Sacramento Observer. You know, most of you know Dr. Lee. He's a pioneer and a leader in our community, and in his honor today, we have some PS7 elementary students who are going to pass out some Observer newspapers to the audience while he's coming up. Dr. Lee is a man who started and built an empire operating through California and Nevada. He's been recognized around this nation. His paper has told stories and created history that others would not have been told had it been for Dr. Lee. Dr. Lee, come on up and accept your award.
Thank you, Mayor Johnson. Giving honor to God and to all the clergy in the House, recognizing the elected officials, all the elected officials that are here. It's really indeed an honor to receive this award. You know, Mort Friedman was a premier businessman. He was a builder. He loved Sacramento, and when he was able, he gave back to Sacramento. And so to receive this award, to have this award named after him and to receive it in that behalf is certainly a great honor. But it's a shared honor for me. It's not something that I have done that has has come to the attention to anyone. As you can see, they still are wheeling me around now. But God loved that. It's an honor because we are able to share it not only with our staff, not only with our families, not only with our neighbors, our sponsors, the people who have underwritten the Observer over the years. So let me just close by saying just very briefly that I really feel very odd in saying that we'll continue to serve this community as best we can. The Observer will be 52 years of age. 52 years. Thank you. We've been named this country's outstanding African American newspapers 6 times in those years, so we're very honored. We'll continue to sow the blessings and the spirit that we have rendered our service into Sacramento, and we're still here to say that the best things for Sacramento are yet to come. God love you. Thank you so much. Marcy, thank you. Thank you so much.
Mort would be so proud.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm just so honored. I really can't tell you. Okay. Hey, darling. Good seeing you. So deserving. Thank you. Thank you, God love you. I love you, sir.
Thank you for coming out today.
Was it all right?
Thank you. You were great. So Dr. Lee is one of the great Sacramentans who's invested in and so deeply and committed to the bright new future of Sacramento. So let me assure you, our future is bright, and as we look into the coming days, Sacramento is moving into a new and vibrant era. So as I begin my official remarks, I'm just overwhelmed with just the love of this community. On a personal note, I grew up on the streets of Oak Park, and we fought like crazy to get the best education you can. And I just feel like I have so much to be thankful for being mayor of Sacramento. There's no other job and no other place I'd rather be, so just want to say thank you for that. So in an era I'll call Sacramento 3.0. You see, Sacramento 1.0 was a community built around the gold rush and agriculture. The second generation, or Sacramento 2.0, came much later and saw our city develop as a government town that completely revolved around the state capitol and real estate. Today, as we take a bold step together, we enter an era called Sacramento 3.0. In this era, a city, Sacramento, has to be a hub of innovation, of entrepreneurship, and technology. It's paperless, it's wireless, it's cashless. In a 3.0, our version, our city, you're gonna see, and I need you to imagine this for a moment, because this is what Sacramento's gonna look like for the next generation. Our city will have more cell phones than landlines, more tablets than desktops, and more smart devices than toothbrushes. And true. In SAC 3.0, envision this. In SAC 3.0, the world's largest music company has no records, Apple. The world's largest bookseller has no bookstores, Amazon. The world's largest taxi company has no cars, Uber. It's only a matter of time before the world's largest hotel chain will have no hotel rooms, Airbnb. And very soon, and I know the university folks are not going to appreciate this, but very soon, the world's largest universities will have no campuses. When you think about the potential of SAC 3.0, it's hard to not get excited. So the question for us today is how do we get there? And I say that our path forward will be dependent on our ability to focus on three incredibly important areas: innovation, infrastructure, and inclusion. First, in order to move away from a Sacramento 3.0 model, this notion of 2.0 and being a government town, we have to create a new economy that creates new jobs. We have to become SAC 3.0, and we have to innovate. As you recall, Steve Jobs, he said, it's time to think different. And to do that, Sacramento, we have to stop thinking about our community and our economy as being confined with our city limits. The global economy has no boundaries, so neither should ours. To that end, we have formed a new organization called Greater Sacramento Economic Area Council, also known as GSAC. Its job is to create and attract and grow and retain sustainable businesses throughout our 6 surrounding counties, resulting in real jobs and new careers that benefit our entire region. This organization is powered by our region's leaders, our CEOs and elected officials, under the leadership of the newly hired CEO, which we stole from Phoenix, Barry Broom. Barry, if you're here, take a stand, Barry Broom. Where's Barry at? Barry will work to ensure that Sacramento is the easiest place to do business in California. That's our goal. We know the challenges of California and the regulation and the bureaucracy and the cost of doing businesses. We want Sacramento to be the easiest place to do business in our state. And this means new ventures and startups. It means empowering small businesses and entrepreneurs from the ground up. In that same vein, we're also talking about updating and innovating the notion of what it means to be an agricultural hub in this world. One of the important things to understand is that when it comes to agriculture and water, Sacramento is the #1 market in the world's biggest industry in the world. Believe it or not, water and agriculture are producing more new technology than any industry in America right now. More than digital, more than biotech. So think about it. This is our opportunity. And it's not just about growing or producing anymore. As a top-ranked university in the world of agriculture, UC Davis will be opening a World Food Center, which I'm saying is going to be downtown at the Sacramento rail yards. To tackle one of the most critical issues facing society today. How do we feed and nourish a growing planet in an environmentally responsible and sustainable way? For UC Davis, the Institute is being seen as a Silicon Valley-like center where startups and innovative research will be created with the food realm. This initiative will allow us to own the agriculture and food space. It can put us on the map and differentiate us from other cities. They will also be a big part of this new economy that creates jobs in a real different way. So that's what I want us to understand. This notion of innovation, it's what's going to stimulate our economy and create new jobs. We used to be over-reliant on the government jobs and the real estate industry, and we have to get forward in this 3.0 era. After innovation, it's critical for our city's focus to be on infrastructure. And what does that mean? Infrastructure, really quickly, are things that are quality of life. How do we get a healthy economy and grow our population? In a 2.0 city, infrastructure with things like transportation and roads and bridges. But we must now provide new business platforms, redefine what infrastructure looks like, to include citywide Wi-Fi networks, turnkey operation for startup companies, from office space to high-speed communication lines. And infrastructure also has to include civic amenities that improve our quality of life by providing a culture center and a sense of community. Investing in our infrastructure not only creates jobs in the short term, it lays the foundation for sustained economic growth in the long term. A big step that you've heard about before is that construction of that new downtown entertainment sports complex where there used to be a big hole in the ground. That building will be completed in 2016. And that was an example for us creating our own economy stimulus instead of waiting on the federal government. And boy, did it work. Just look at all the folks around the country taking notice. We are making some news here. ESPN, the award-winning 30 for 30 documentary, will do a premiere, a major film later this year about Sacramento's fight to save our team. Come on, how cool is that? So make no mistake about it. We're just getting started, Sacramento. In the last 6 months, and you guys have seen and read a little bit about this, in the last 6 months, I convened a commission to study a plan for a new state-of-the-arts performing and arts cultural center that will house the Philharmonic, the opera, the ballet, the California Music Theater, our small ethnic performing arts groups, because arts are just as important as our sports teams. We've also begun significant work on developing our rail yards. This project, which is one of the largest infill projects in the country, when it's fully developed, it will double the size of downtown in one fell swoop. It will be the home of what I'm hoping will be the new soccer stadium when we land MLS. Investing in infrastructure and amenities downtown increases quality of life. It attracts more people to live downtown and share in the community we're building here. To that end, there needs to be a significant emphasis on downtown housing. Downtown housing is at the Do you guys live downtown already? You want some neighbors. So downtown Sacramento is at the epicenter of an exciting economic renaissance in our region. With the business development that's already occurring in our downtown core, housing is a missing component that we must address. We must attract funding and leverage investments to support housing along streetcar, whether it's West Sacramento and coming into Sacramento and going up by the Capitol. We need a streetcar, busing, light rail routes. That is what's going to make Sacramento unique. You better clap on that one, please. This will make Sacramento a leader in transit-oriented development and allow us to become a modern, interconnected city in the 21st century. As I said before, Sacramento has crazy momentum and energy right now. And in order for us to truly live up to that promise, we must focus on the third priority, which is inclusion. 6 years ago, I ran for mayor on a campaign slogan, "A city that works for everyone." And I truly believe in that ideal for our city. We're well known for, and we take pride in the fact that we're one of the most diverse cities in America. But we cannot tout that with integrity unless we're a community that cares for, respects, and values each and every member. So how can we make that happen? First,